Welcome back, everybody, to your three-man booth. We're kicking off the NFL season with NFL Week 1. I'm Dan Salem, Phil, and Bud, and we got ATS picks. Phil's laying some real money on the games. Plus, we're all in a giant survivor pool, so we'll be giving you some advice on that each week. But I want to get started with Phil's Week 1 ATS picks. He's got 2, and Bud and I are going to rank them, and then we'll keep track all season on how we do. We did really well last year, especially as a collective. So I have high hopes again, Phil.
Well, the goal is to keep playing the same ones that we pick on this show, because usually come Sunday morning, you're like, I think I like this one better. But as you've just stated, if we play the ones that we pick here, we did pretty well. Week 1's really friggin' hard, right? We know a couple teams we think are going to be okay. We know there's a bunch of teams we think are going to suck. But the problem is 2 of the teams that we think are going to suck are actually playing each other. So don't touch Jacksonville and
Houston.
Yeah. It's a mess. Yeah.
It's a mess. So normally what I like to do is I'll take the 1 o'clock game. If I hit on that, great. Play a 4 o'clock double or nothing. If I don't hit the first one, we'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling. So the first one I like at 1 o'clock is the Vikings against the Bengals. Vikings are only laying 3. Joe Burrow's coming back from a huge injury. Their offensive line is Minnesota's got Dalvin Cook and Thielen and Justin Jefferson, and Kirk Cousins is a fine serviceable quarterback. So I'll take Minnesota and I'll lay the 3 points.
All right, Bud. What do you think of that pick? Minnesota -3 over the Bengals. Bengals are at home, I believe.
Bengals are home. I think that's probably a wise choice.
Yeah,
you don't know how Joe Burrow's going to be week 1.
I'll give it a thumbs up. I'm not against the pick. I really favor the home teams, especially week 1, because everyone has so much preparation. But Minnesota looks a lot better.
Yeah, there's the other one I considered was San Francisco and Detroit, but Detroit's getting 7.5. That is too much. It's too much. And
Well, I consider taking Detroit because they're getting so many points.
Yeah, I'm not a. It would be hard for me to actually hit the button on Detroit.
I know.
So if that one hits, I do like Green Bay playing the Saints, because listen, Jameis Winston, Taysom Hill, it doesn't matter. There's no Michael Thomas. There's no Drew Brees. Aaron Rodgers is going to be the big FU season for him because he's out of here. So he's going to listen. Green Bay is going to put up a lot of points, and I think I've already seen a few analysts already pick them to win the Super Bowl. So
that's great, and they're only given 3, right? I mean, they're on the road, so it's
I currently see them at 4 on FanDuel.
Okay, I'm giving that a thumbs up. And Bud, you teased us with your picks pre-show, so I know how you feel. You want to roll that into your own ATS picks for the week? You like Green Bay as well, don't you?
I do. I like Green Bay. I agree with Phil. I don't think New Orleans is. I think New Orleans is going to be in for a very rude awakening this year. Jameis Winston, although he can put up numbers, is a turnover machine, and unless he's been able to fix that in the last year and a half, I don't foresee that to go well against the Green Bay defense. That's pretty good, and then an offense with Aaron Rodgers and all those weapons. And then I'm going to take
the Giants. They're getting.
I was going to say that. Sorry, that just seems a bit weird that they're 3-point underdogs to Denver, who Denver was not very good last year. Yeah, they've kind of revitalized the team, but I'm not sold on that. Barkley's coming back. This is a prove it year for Jones. Giants defense is better than people expect. Give me the Giants to win outright.
It's funny. Giants can go 6-11, or 17. They can go 6-11, or they can go 10-7. I mean, it could be. I don't know what the hell they're going to do. I kind of feel Denver Giants are kind of the same team, to be quite honest with you. Defenses are really good, and the offense has to prove it. I think they're mirror images of each other. I do.
Yeah, and they both underachieved last season with really strong units. To say, I like the Giants at home too. I favor the home teams week 1. I favor teams getting points mostly in these picks. And so the fact that
you'll notice I'm a favorites guy. I try not to be, because you win on the left side of the board where
I love to take the points, but we're overlapping on our picks this week because there's not a lot of good ones. And so these are pretty good blocks. I like the Giants +3 at home. While Denver had a great defense last year, they were not overall a good team. And they got to travel across the country week 1 of the season. Teams traveling across the country, it spells trouble, especially with the lines. So I like the Giants +3 as well. And then the other one I'm taking the Cleveland Browns, because they are getting 6.5 points against Kansas City. Now, I know that Kansas City's at home and they have a big high-powered offense, But Cleveland had a pretty good defense last year, and they also have a very good offense. I think that's going to be a close football game. 6.5 points was way too many points for me to pass up. I think people, maybe they're like, oh, maybe the Browns will take a step back. I know, Bud, you don't think it's going to happen. I don't really think it's going to happen here. And I'm taking those points.
I like that because what people sometimes might forget is that Kansas City won that game last year because of one play. I mean, Cleveland should have beaten them in the playoffs last year. It literally came down to one play. And I think Cleveland's going to be a much better team this year. And they won, 10, 11 games last year. So, I mean, I totally think that that's possible again.
I'm excited for week 1. Those are our ATS picks. All right, guys, we're doing a group survivor pool. Bud, who do you got to survive week 1 of the season?
I took 49ers over Detroit because we're not playing spreads. We're just playing outright. And I think I don't think the Lions are going to be very good. I could be wrong. They have no running attack, suspect wide receivers, and mediocre defense. The best player on the team is Jared Goff. Honestly, I think Jimmy Garoppolo has something to prove.
Phil, who do you think is going to survive?
I mean, I think I'm taking the chalk of the week, but listen, from what happened to us last year, getting ousted in week 1, I can't let that happen again. I'm taking the Rams over the Bears.
Oh,
no way in hell the Rams defense is going to let Andy Dalton beat them.
I like it. And LA's at home, which is nice. So.
LA is at home. The Justin Fields era might begin in week number 2 this year.
I
it's going to hurt me because I have a lot of Allen Robinson in fantasy. So kind of a catch-22 here. Like I need Allen Robinson to do well, but it's not going to happen.
Well, I almost went with Bud's 49ers over the Lions. But then I remembered what happened to us last year with the game that no one thought that Jacksonville should win. It was the only game they won all season. The Lions are at home, and they do have Jared Goff. So I was like, I can't go that route. Now, we can only pick each team once. But Phil, I went the safe route with you. I'm taking Green Bay to beat the Saints because I just think they're infinitely better. And while you kind of want to like save Green Bay to win later, you got to survive week 1. So
you gotta make it till later.
Yeah. So we all picked teams we think are going to be potential playoff teams, all 3 of us in the NFC, and that's a good way to survive. I hope we do. We got a lot of strong competition, but I want us to keep this going, all 3 of us at the very least. Should we talk about the Jets matchup first or the Giants matchup first? I mean, we already mentioned the Giants, who we think are pretty even with Denver.
I do think it's an evenly matched matchup. I agree with Bud wholeheartedly. Me and every other analyst is like, this is it. This is the year. If Jones can't do it now with Galladay and Shepard and Ingram's hurt, but Barkley's pretty much on track to play week 1. Is he going to have a full workload? Probably not a full one, but an 80% Barkley is better than 3/4 of the running backs in this league anyway. So don't get sacked. Don't turn the ball over. It's simple because the Giants defense is very good playing against Teddy Bridgewater and a couple of second-year wide receivers.
I think the Giants air it out. I mean, Denver, if they got a strong defense, I think you push those corners, you push that secondary, and let Jones air it out. It will protect Barkley too. I mean,
they do. That's the one thing Denver has. Is Denver has a very good defense. Von Miller's coming back because he was hurt all year. They do have a very good defense. So,
well, I snatched up Barkley in fantasy. I dropped Ezekiel Elliott, and then I drafted Barkley. So I'm praying that he does really well, even if he's limited.
Hey, Dallas is already in trouble. I mean, I'm going off tangent here, but they don't have Zach Martin because of COVID. Lyle Collins is hurt. We should have picked Tampa Bay week on Thursday because they're going to win that game outright. It's just they're going to win that game.
But you like the Giants obviously over Denver. And we know your feelings on how Sam Darnold's and Robbie Anderson are going to stick it to the Jets. So how do you think the Jets will do?
31-13, Carolina.
Okay. So I've seen a ton of people laying bets on Zach Wilson to win Offensive Rookie of the Year, and I'm just like, no, stop jinxing us. I mean, I hope he has a good season, but
their defense is going to be so bad that he's going to have to throw the football 1,000 times a game. It's going to be like Joe Burrow last year. They're going to constantly be playing catch up.
What are you willing to eat on the show if they have an excellent defense? Like as like a punishment for being wrong, so wrong. Can you like eat your Sam Darnold jersey? Can you stuff it in your mouth?
I mean, I have it. I still have it. I'm sure I can put some barbecue sauce on it or something.
We have no idea what their defense is going to be like because you're right. They hardly ever played the field in the National Football League outside of C.J. Mosley. But the fact that they didn't bring anybody in means that they obviously like developing these players. Now, maybe they won't be good this year, but they will be getting better throughout the year to be starters next year.
But that's Saleh's bread and butter, though, right?
Yeah.
That's.
Listen, they're going to win 3 or 4 games this year, guys. Let's not have our expectations too high. I'm telling you, this is another year of rebuilding, another year of misery. Now, I will say this. I'm ever the pessimist, right? You both have known me for a long time. I'm telling you, I believe in the system, though. I believe in the coach and I believe in the GM. I do not believe that this year they're going to be very good. I think next year is going to be the real test. And I think it's going to be a lot on Joe Douglas. He's got a lot of picks next year. He's going to have a bunch of money under the cap to really get some free agents. I don't know what his plan is, but they need to go defense, obviously, next year. I know we're already talking about next year.
So I both agree and disagree with you. This is definitely year one of the rebuild, right? They got the new coach, the new quarterback, and the team is so young, it's ridiculous. Like they're starting like 10 or 12 rookies, something like that. If these rookies all hit, like if even half of them all hit this year to like be starters, they're going to have a pretty good team. And I can see them winning 6, 7, 8 games. I don't think they're a playoff team. I'm not going to kid myself. That would be a huge shocker. There's no 500 anymore, but I can see them approaching the line. And I don't know if they'll have, they need some real, like I hit gold over and over again to be a 9-10 win team.
I don't know. I feel like the vibes are different this year. But always comes into the season very down, and he's like, "It's gonna suck." I'm like, "Nah, it may not be that bad." Usually he's right, but the vibes feel different now.
I have a feeling that even when they're losing, they are going to be fun to watch, and I haven't been able to say that in a couple of years, mainly because of Adam Gase.
Hey, that's what I said about the Knicks last year, and look what happened this year. They overachieved. No one thought they were going to be a 4 seed in the East. I know we're talking NBA, but I mean it's the same thing. Nobody expected them to even sniff the playoffs, and they were a 4 seed.
Well, I'll tell you, the way that the Jets do it is not if Zach Wilson is an offensive rookie of the year candidate, because it normally goes to quarterback. It's if Elijah Moore or Michael Carter are offensive rookie of the year candidates.
If Elijah Moore is everything that they are saying that he's going to be, and the fact that he should have been first round talent, and they slipped to him in the second round, that would be a huge deal, because I was watching some of Zach Wilson's, I guess you can call it highlights from the preseason. The kid's got an arm, man. He can chuck the ball. He reminds me of like Patrick Mahomes with his arm strength. In a perfect world, I can only hope that this turns into like it was a few years ago when you had Brandon Marshall and you had Eric Decker.
We already know Bud's prediction, 31-13. Dan, the Jets are getting 5.5.
There's just so much unknown with this team. If they were getting 7, I probably would have taken them.
You're forgetting about Christian McCaffrey too, by the way, Dan.
I am completely forgetting about him. I want to pick the Jets to win. I could see them winning 24-17 type of thing.
I mean, this is one of those ones like I wouldn't even consider taking a side if I had to. It's just one of those ones you have no idea. I have absolutely no idea.
Any other final predictions for week 1? Breakout players. You already think Zeke's going to fall on his face, Phil. Anything else that you guys think is going to happen?
Watch out for Fitzmagic.
See, I don't buy it. I don't buy it.
You've been saying it for the last 3 years, and he's pretty good.
It's not like Washington has a third quarterback waiting in the wings and just needs time. They don't even have. I don't see it. I don't know.
We'll end on that note. Maybe we'll have some Fitzmagic. Maybe we won't. We'll find out after NFL week 1.
We'll see.